Welcome back. So for weeks now, we have been talking about children who have lost their lives as a result of suspected food poisoning cases. And the debate has gone back and forth around how government should be reacting. But what we forget is that behind those faces are families that are still very much in mourning. And for them, the steps taken by government may very well be too late. We speak to two such families this evening representing the children who lost their lives in Naledi in Soweto. We're joined by Mpho Rampou, who is the aunt to little Karabo Rampou. He was 8 years old. Karabo was 8 years old. 9.
Yes.
Karabo was 9. In studio as well, we're joined by Nthabiseng Mabote, who was the mother of Isago Mabote. Isago was 7.
No, he's Isago Mabote, and he's turning 8 tomorrow.
8 tomorrow.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
Mpho, I want to start with you. It's been weeks, and I can just imagine that it's been weeks of hell for the family. What support do you think you have received as a family over the past few weeks? Is it satisfactory?
There's no support whatsoever that we as a family have ever received from anyone. Instead, what the government is doing is hurting us over and over again. Nothing is being communicated with us as families. We hear things from the media, false information for that matter. Nobody has ever given us anything on paper stating that this is what killed your children. No toxicology report, no pathology report, nothing till this day.
Okay, I'm going to sit with that a little bit. Because we've heard even the Minister of Health, Dr. Naledi, saying that the children, these children from Naledi, your children, lost their lives because of a pesticide identified as organophosphate or turbifus. So that conversation has not happened with you, the family. You're watching it happen on air.
We're watching it. Actually, on that day when he announced it to the media. We heard it prior to that. It was on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, from the Provincial Commissioner of Police in Nthabiseng on Metro FM News, saying that our children were killed by organophosphate. Yes. And we were shocked. And on that day, I was with Nthabiseng because, I mean, every now and then I go and check up on her if she's okay or not. And we were very shocked that how come things are being said on the media and not to us as families. And then I immediately called the investigating officer and then I asked him, what's going on? You're supposed to be communicating everything with us and yet we hear things on the media. Then on the day when he made the media release, we were with the pathologist that did the postmortem on 3 of our children. And she explained to us verbally still, no paperwork, no nothing, that these are my findings. Your children were killed by turbifus, which she said turbifus ke halipirimi ka language ya kokasi.
Yes.
Then, to my surprise, President Duwet's announcement, he says, "Bana ba rona ba bolele ke turbifus and turbifus ka halipirimi ke aldicap bana ba bolele ke turbifus." So it's leaving us confused because we don't know where turbifus ke eng, aldicap ke eng, because one person is saying this and then the next also.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. And Nthabiseng, I'll bring you in here because I think you've gathered some strength. Okay, so then there's the argument that's been made by the health minister, who says there's a chemical component, right? You're hearing organophosphate, and then there's halipirimi. So you, at this point, are going into a day tomorrow where you should be celebrating your child's birthday, and you still don't know what took your child's life.
Yeah, because there are too many names. Turbifus, organophosphate, aldicap, and what's the other one? I forgot the name. There's plenty of those.
So there was carbonates.
Carbamide, something like that.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's happening.
What do you think those are? Because ultimately when we go back to our homes, we need to know which chemical is which and what to protect ourselves and our children from. So what do you then take as, you know, what could have gone wrong?
I don't really know what went wrong, but the doctor just said, or we know it as halipirine. Yana na ibisa kama bisa schoa, ako lepo, Tebofos, organophosphate, aldicarb.
Gale phirime ga ile gore ke gale phirime la be le tsene yang mo dijong tsa bana.
Ke ntho e re
$1 million
ipotsang yona
question.
le reo. Same question to ourselves, or how did it get to our hands, to the hands of our children? Ba ithotse kae? Ba ifile ke mang? Because there's too many things to this story. Ke Pakistani, ke mamang. We want the whole truth, or it's really kae from the onset. Or be fihle ko matsogong a ba rona. Because can I tell you something, sister? We don't use those things because we know we have too many children in their heart. And that thing, it's no longer existing. Ha re batla ho bula diroto tsa rona or whatever, re sebedisa speed trap, di cheese ka metsi a belang, and then there comes Halipirim in our children's hands. So,
What were the snacks that they bought? Because there's such a big contestation around, were they packaged snacks or are these little Zimba chips that you find little folded up and bought from the store? Do you remember what the kids were eating?
We found, actually Njabulo's father found a packet of brown, it's like the brown version of knickknacks. It's those ones that they put inside those transparent plastic bags.
That are folded?
Yes.
So packaged by either the person selling or by
selling
a
them,
warehouse?
No,
No,
the person selling.
selling.
Because from the warehouse, it's like a long plastic that's this long.
Yeah, it's
so
a
obviously
huge
they have to
package.
put
They
them in those
and put them in little
and make
packets.
as many packets as they can. So it was those Simba chips. And what upsets me the most about this thing, Minister Aaron Naledi on the very same Monday said the packet of chips that was found inside Njabulo's pocket tested negative. And when he was questioned about it, he said those were preliminary findings. And on Friday, President Ramaphosa speaks and says the packet of chips tested positive for Nthabiseng. So which is which? We're very confused at this stage because this one is saying this and this one is saying that. It's hard for us to believe everything that they are saying because there is nothing on paper. We're just being told this is what happened.
You know, there's also the argument, Nthabiseng, around, does it matter whether or not we close the shops, the spaza shops, right? So you know the spaza shop perhaps where the kids would have bought these little chips. And here's the reality of it. If you're a parent and you've grown up or you're living in the township, I certainly know what that's like. When children are playing and they've got a little R1 in their pocket, you're not going to stop them from buying.
No, I'm not.
From little chips.
And I'm not going to stop them from sharing food to other kids.
Other children, right? So does it matter that the tuck shop is closed, that the spaza shop is closed? Does it make a difference for you?
It doesn't really, because we don't really know where this thing comes from. Because just the other day, Aaron Naledi, he mentioned that this is for only certified people, but not really licensed. So, so it can get to our children at any time. O understand? But ba rekisa table force, ba rekisa mazimba. If it le jwang mo mazimbeng. Itse ko mang re fitle ko mazimbeng. Even if le ana motho wa ko spaza wa rekisa table force, if it le jwang mo matsong a hae. Because ba re ke batho ba lemang, akere it's for people who agricultural, I don't know, whatever. That is what
for pesticides in the agricultural sector. That's
yes,
what the
that is what they just said. How does it get to the hands of our children? Where is agriculture?
What do you think, Nthabiseng, when you see other children falling sick? I mean, there were children that were admitted into a hospital in Kariga in the week that just passed in the Eastern Cape. There were children that were admitted in Malamulele in the Eastern Cape. There were children that were admitted in the Free State. When you see those stories, I can imagine that it's triggering.
Yeah, it is.
But what does it say to you about just how big of a problem we're facing?
I'm saying this is not going to stop. You know why? Because earlier on, they just mentioned the spazas do not have anything they tested, environmental health tested, there's nothing to that spazas. They don't get to the bottom or halipirini from the onset or ikena from guy. If they don't get to that or it's from guy, bana ba ntse ba tlhokafala.
Nthabiseng Mabote, the mother of Isago Mabote, and Mpho Rampou, who is the aunt of Karabo Rampou. We're going to continue speaking to them on the other side of this short break. Stay with us.